We continue our final push to the end of Heat Stay here at Paul Fletcher International. And next up, it is Heat 5, Groups A versus D for Minimax. Let's have a look at the starting grid. So Jacob Ashcroft starts from pole position. Alongside him will be Edward Haynes in the number 143. Row 2 is Cole Denham and Tom Reed. Charlie Wolfett and Oliver Meek will round out row number 3. Just behind them will be Nikita Lubiamov and Oliver Warner. Grayson Wortley and Riley Morrow round out the top 10 with Max Gilman, Miko Schweers, Kieran Stewart, Christian Sayerson and Fraser Anderson rounding out the 15-strong grid that will go into battle over the next 7 minutes, plus an additional lap. So the drivers now go on to their official formation lap ahead of 7 minutes plus 1 lap of racing. There is a lot more cloud cover, so the sun has very much been shielded over the majority of the circuit, so there is a little bit of a shadow, and also allowing us a little bit of respite from the scorching Saturday sunshine that we've had all the way through the day from earlier on this morning. So the drivers make their way through Bobby Game Corner. The penultimate heat out of 6 for the Minimax classes. After these next 2 races, we'll have the final 2 heats for juniors, the final 2 heats for seniors, and closing out the action with the final race at 6:10 this afternoon. DD2 and DD2 Masters will close out the show. Red lights are on the starting gantry as the field makes its way through the final corner. They split. The revs start to build. The anticipation heightens. Revs rise. Lights are out. We are underway. Good start by the 2 on the right-hand side of the starting grid. Once again, it is Ashcroft versus Denham as they align astern up Uncle Tyrone's banking through in towards the ascent towards the Litchfield Bridge. And they are line astern going through out of the next right-hander down the dip. Now it's the long run towards hairpin number 1. Little bit of juxtaposing behind 3rd position, which at the moment looks to be Edward Haynes in the 143. As they go through into turn 3. A couple of changes for position, change for 4th. Just transpiring is also the change for 6th place. There is the 155. That's Charlie Wolfett, who's now in 3rd place. So he got a pretty good start from the inside of row number 3 behind Messrs. Ashcroft and Denham. And Ashcroft starting to pull a 2 to 3 kart length advantage as they come into the final corner and complete the opening lap. Ashcroft leads Denham by 0.289 of a second. Wolfett in 3rd. Haynes and Lubimov round out the top 5. Tom Reed drops to 6th. Riley Morrow, followed by Grayson Wortley and Max Gilman, are ahead of Oliver Meek, who completes the top 10. A bit of a battle towards the bottom part of the top 10 as they hurtle their way through into the first of the 2 infield hairpins, the 180-degree right-hander, now the 180 left. And into the Fullerton S's. Ashcroft keeping a comfortable gap between himself and Cole Denham, but we have seen it before in previous races that Cole Denham has closed that gap significantly over the past few races earlier on today. Two laps down, just under 5 minutes to go. Edward Haynes closing on Charlie Wolfett for third place as they go through the Bruno Ferrari S's underneath the Lichfield Bridge. Haynes is looking for the move. Wolfett blocks him very, very quickly indeed by sweeping around the outside of turn number 3. That's going to allow Nikita Lyubimov to close on in. And Tom Reed is not that far behind either. Haynes again looks to the inside of Wolfett through into the infield hairpin. Wolfett runs a little bit deep through the corner to carry the momentum through it and holds his ground ahead of Edward Haynes. Nikita Lyubimov looking to get a slipstream down the run into the Fullerton S's as the Estonian, the 112, based out of Tallinn, stays in 5th for the minute. Tom Reed again has been showcasing great pace over the course of today's racing. And what can he do in the next 4 minutes plus an additional lap? Signals from the gantry on the left-hand side of the start-finish straight. There's also a mechanics gantry. Oh, good move there. Edward Haynes using the slipstream to complete advantage. And there's Nikita Lyubimov looking up the inside of Charlie Wolfett. The answer on that one was a resounding no, but nevertheless, great effort by Nikita Lyubimov for attempting that. A little bit further back, Grayson Wortley leads the train from 7th backwards. Ahead of Riley Murrow, Oliver Meek and Max Gilman, who complete the top 10. Oliver Warner now in 11th, having dropped a little bit further down the order, ahead of Mikko Schwiers, Kieran Stewart, Christian Sayerson, and Fraser Anderson. Oh, scrap going on. Lyubimov in 5th. 4th, it's Charlie Wolfett. 3rd, it's Ed Haynes. And now with them is going to be Tom Reed, the number 136 from Strawberry Racing, as we go into the final 3 minutes plus an additional lap. Now Denham decides the time to go for. The lead is now, gets through into the run into the Bruno Ferrari S's, was 39 thousandths behind Jacob Ashcroft after we completed lap number 4. They are line astern on the exit of the Lichfield Bridge. Now the run down into hairpin number 1. Tom Reed sort of pulls to the right-hand side as if to say to Nikita Lyubimov, well, you might want to watch out for me because I'm there. And at this moment, they are pretty much side by side, going through hairpin number 2. And Ashcroft trying to keep in touch, well, in touch with Cole Denham. And these two are two of the main title protagonists for this year's crown. Cole Denham comes into this race weekend with a marginal lead, but then we have to take into consideration drop scores at the end of today. Ashcroft within a 1/10.5 of Denham, and then sweeps to the inside through Uncle Tyrone's banking. Denham responds with a counter-attack through turn 3 onto the Lichfield Bridge. So this is where we might see a precursor to what occurs tomorrow. These two have been battling all season long. Ashcroft not having the best run of luck at Marienborg a few weeks ago. Denham doing a solid job to keep himself at the sharp end of the field. Coming up to just under 60, coming up to the 60-second mark remaining in this 5th and penultimate heat here in Minimax. Ashcroft swarming all over the back of Cole Denham as we go on to our penultimate lap of this penultimate race in Minimax. Denham leads Ashcroft, 1/10.5 separate them. Edward Haynes has gotten away from the likes of Nikita Lyubimov, who's just run very, very wide, coming on over the banking at the top of the hill. Might have just lost a position to Charlie Wolfett going onto the Lichfield Bridge. So the Mr. Lord Pancake saying, what is the drop score? It's the worst results that you will accumulate over the course of the season. You cannot take an exclusion into consideration for a drop score. That becomes part of your points tally. But with 10 seconds remaining on the timer, Denham leads the way. Ashcroft in second, but is hustling the 162 for that race lead. Let's not forget, Ashcroft has not won a race all day long, but he's kept himself in contention. Final lap underway. Gap between the top two, 0.168. It's now or never for Jacob Ashcroft. The young man from Weston-super-Mare sweeps to the outside through Uncle Tyrone's banking to carry the momentum through onto the Litchfield Bridge for the final time. Now into the right-hander down at turn number 4. Down the hill into the first hairpin for the final time on lap number 8. Denham goes defensive. Ashcroft does the undercut. He's alongside him into the next hairpin. Who's going to get the inside line? It's Denham. And now he's starting to defend. He's starting to defend because he does not want to relinquish this win to Jacob Ashcroft at this point. Cole Denham is fighting. And Ashcroft wants to do one thing. Get past him and take the win. Now through the Mike Wilson complex. Ashcroft pulls to the outside. Denham defends. It's not going to be enough for the 122. Cole Denham does it again here at Paul Fletcher International, winning by 0.14 of a second at the checkered. Charlie Wolfett recovers to finish in 3rd position ahead of Edward Haynes. Nikita Lubimov rounds out the top 5. Tom Reed, Oliver Meek, Oliver Warner, Max Gilman, Riley Murrow, Grayson Wortley, Miko Schweers, Kieran Stewart, Fraser Anderson, and Christian Sayerson completes the 15-strong field, but by 0.14 of a second. Jacob Ashcroft finishes just behind Cole Denham, who has put his best foot forward here at Paul Fletcher International on Heats Day.